Hello guys, welcome back to our channel and today we are going to see an interesting topic that is cognitive bias and artificial intelligence. How cognitive bias affects the artificial intelligence. So let's go. Before moving forward with today's topic, I would like to share a small story with you guys. During my school days, I used to play lots of cricket with my friends. I used to play it daily. I used to never miss a chance to play a game of cricket. Unfortunately, one fine day, while playing cricket, I twisted my ankle. I twisted it so bad that I was taken to an emergency department of a hospital. There, I was first consulted by a nurse, and then she told me that doctor was not available on that day. Now, let's just keep this story on a hold for a few minutes, and I would like to ask you that how many of you thought that a nurse was a female? And how many of you thought that a doctor was a male? Yeah, right? This was a mild example of cognitive bias. We still think of a man when a word doctor comes out, and a female when a word nurse comes out. This is gender bias. We all have them, and that's not a fault. We all have them in different other ways also, like bias against certain people, certain appearances, age groups, etc. Now let's look to a topic. Today's topic is cognitive bias and artificial intelligence. Now, what does it mean by cognitive bias? Let's see on Wikipedia what does it say. A cognitive bias is a systematic pattern of deviation from norm or rationality in judgment. Individuals create their own subjective reality from their perception of the input, and individuals' construction of reality, not the objective input, may dictate their behavior in the world. It's quite confusing. Let me put it in simple and in layman's terms. Now, so when we think of certain thing or hear of certain thing, we think it in a specific way. So this is a cognitive bias. We get biased based on our inputs we have got till now. Now let's look at an example from Hollywood. When Hollywood decided to cast emotion as animation, they casted joy as perfection, anger as middle-aged man, fear as skinny dude, sadness as nerd, and, of course, disgust as an obnoxious teenage girl. This made sense to us, right? Because this spoke to unconscious biases. Until recently, we thought that AI would help us making decision on our behalf using facts and logic. But however, we figured out that AI is using our biases and is amplifying it into orders of magnitude and spreading it on even larger scale than we could ever as an individual. Thanks to the movies like I Robot, Terminator, and Ex Machina. Whenever we think of AI and its danger, we think of killer robots, which, when sentient and intelligently decided to wipe us out to protect themselves or the planet. We use our time and efforts determining that machine will become intelligent and when. What we fail to realize is that the threat is not their intelligence, but it's their stupidity, or rather our stupidity being propagated by them. AI is feeded by these biases like ageism, racism, and sexism. It is producing recommendations which are actually devastating lives as we speak. Now, let's look at this example. It's an image from a recommendation tool which assesses the risk of a person possesses a drug. Now, we can clearly see racial bias over there. Like a person who had zero offenses in his life is rated high, and person who has some history of offenses is rated low because the difference in the features of face and skin color. So the only solution to this thing and stop this thing is ourselves. We need to stop this bias is in our head first and then stop feeding it to the AI or the system with this artificial intelligence. So yeah, this was it for today. We'll meet in next video. Until then, see ya.